I welcome you all to Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. In this video, we are going to study about the subject Water Supply Engineering for third semester, Civil Engineering program. So that is Unit 2, Session 20, Treatment of Water, CO2. Before going to talk about today's session, we shall discuss the previous sessions, what we have all come across. In the last sessions, we have come across the chapter Quality of Water. In the quality of water, we have studied about introduction to quality of water, source of impurities from water, and requirements of wholesome water, types of impurities, water analysis, in that chemical examinations and physical examinations, and most probable number and drinking water standards. What are the drinking water standards we need to follow? So let's talk about today's session, treatment of water. In treatment of water, we are going to talk about the topics: introduction to treatment of water, flow diagram of different units of treatment, screens, sedimentation, classification of sedimentation, that is plain sedimentation, and sedimentation with coagulation. In plain sedimentation, again classification has been done. So that is horizontal flow type tanks, vertical flow type tanks. Again, horizontal flow types are classified into rectangular tanks with longitudinal flow and circular tanks with radial or spiral flow. First topic, introduction to treatment of water. Why the water need to be treated? Actually, whatever the water found in nature is not pure. Presently, when it starts in the starting point, it will be pure. But as on it goes and as on it flows, so it comes in contact with the many inorganic materials, organic materials and all. So it becomes impure. And it contains number of impurities in varying amounts. The rainwater, which is originally pure, but it also absorbs various gases, dust and other impurities while falling on the ground. This water, when moves in the ground, further it carries salt, organic and inorganic impurities. The water which is coming from the sources like streams, lakes, ponds, rivers may also contain some of the impurities. So, the water must be treated and purified before they are going to be supplied to the general public for their domestic, industrial, or any other purposes, and for the safety of public health, economy, protection of various industrial process. The extent of treatment required to be given to particular water depends upon the characteristics and quality of the available water for the intended use. Next topic. Flow diagram of different units of treatment. So this sketch shows the different unit present in the treatment plant. Usually the raw water comes from the reservoir, rivers, or any other sources. So the reservoir, from the reservoir, the water is allowed to stand in the sedimentation tank, where in the sedimentation tank the water is allowed to stand for some period so that solids or impurities which are present in the water will be start sedimenting in the sedimentation tank. Next is loading tank. In this loading tank, whatever the suspended impurities present in the water, it may be a inorganic suspended impurities or organic suspended impurities present in water, that will be removed here in the loading tank. Then this water which is obtained from loading tank, so again it is again moved to the next treatment unit. So that is filtration tank. Here in the filtration tank, what they have done here, so a layer of coarse gravel, then gravel, then fine sand. So this filter media they have provided for the filtration of water, and above that water is made to flow here, and water is made to stand here, and the water will percolate through this filter media, and the clear water will be taken to the next treatment unit. So that treatment unit is chlorination to kill the bacteria. Here what all the bacteria is present in the water, so that will be killed here using the chlorination method. So next, after chlorination, it is taken to home, or it is supplied to the consumers, or it is supplied to the public. Next topic, screens. So this shows the sketch of screens. So this is the influent channel, this is the effluent channel. So these are the bars of screens. So it is made to, either it may be made to stand like in an angle around 30 to 45 degree. So, or it may be made to stand in 30 degree. and it is placed parallel to each other. And here the perforated metal platform for screenings. So this is the direction of flow. So from here, the clear water will be taken to the next treatment unit from the effluent channel. So screens are generally provided in front of the pump or intake works so as to exclude large size particles such as debris, animals, trees, branches, etc. Coarse screens are sometimes placed in front of fine screens. Coarse screens consists of parallel iron rods placed vertically or at a slight slope at about 2 to 10 centimeter center to center. Fine screens are made up of fine wire with openings less than 1 centimeter width. The coarse screen first remove the bigger floating bodies and the organic solids, and the fine screens then remove the fine suspended solids. The fine screens normally get clogged and are to be cleaned frequently. When the clogging happens, so we need to clean it. Next topic. Sedimentation. Sedimentation can be classified into two types. One is plain sedimentation, another one is sedimentation with coagulation. In plain sedimentation, it is again classified into two types: horizontal flow tanks and vertical flow tanks. Plain sedimentation. Theory of sedimentation. The particles which are heavier than water are naturally likely to settle down due to the force of gravity. In water, there are mainly two types of impurities: inorganic suspended solids having specific gravity about 2.65 and organic suspended solids having specific gravity of about 1.04. The particles having specific gravity of about 1.2 are so easily settle down at bottom of tank. This phenomenon of settling down of particles at the bottom of sedimentation tank is known as hydraulic subsidence. Next one is horizontal flow tanks. Sedimentation tanks are generally made of reinforced concrete and may be rectangular or circular in plane. Horizontal flow tanks may be classified into two types: rectangular tanks with longitudinal flow, and circular tanks with radial or spiral flow. So next topic. So some of the multiple choice questions related to today's session. The process of causing heavier solid particles in suspension to settle by holding the water in a basin is called, first option is sedimentation, second coagulation, third filtration, and fourth one is disinfection. So what this question is related about, the process of causing heavier solid particles in suspension to settle by holding the water in a basin. In a basin, the water is allowed to settle the heavier organic or inorganic particles. So that process is called as what? Answer A, sedimentation. Sedimentation. Next question. In plain sedimentation process, the suspended particles settle down as a result of the first option is action of sun rays, second one is action of gravity, third option is action of velocity of particles, and fourth option is none of the above. So option is action of gravity. Means what? In plain sedimentation process, with the help of gravity, with the help of gravitational force, the organic or inorganic particles are likely to settle down. So that one only they have asked. With the what action the suspended particles are going to settle down at the bottom of the tank. Next question. The first stage in water treatment unit is, first option sedimentation, second option filtration, third one is coagulation and mixing, fourth one is disinfection. So sedimentation comes first from the raw water tank. So directly the raw water is sent to the for sedimentation process to the sedimentation tank. So next one is coagulation and mixing. After sedimentation, to remove the fine suspended particles, we use sedimentation with the coagulation process. So this is the next one, next process. And after coagulation is done, filtration process is done. After filtration process, to kill the some of the bacteria, so disinfection, that is it may be chlorination or so the answer first stage in water treatment unit is sedimentation. Next question. Screens are provided to remove. Why the screens are provided? So screens are provided to remove the debris, animals, trees, branches, or vegetable pieces which are present. Vegetable peels also, fruit peels also. So to remove those, things. The screens are provided in front of the sedimentation tank. Not in front, before the sedimentation tank. Next question. Why coarse screens and fine screens are provided? Answer. The coarse screens are provided first to remove the bigger floating bodies and the organic solids, and then fine screens remove fine suspended solids. Coarse screens are provided to remove the bigger floating bodies and other organic solids present in the water, and fine screens are provided to remove the fine suspended solids. Next question. Screens are made up of fine wire with openings less than dash wide. So generally screens are made up of fine wire. So with the openings less than 1 centimeter wide. So openings will be around only 1 centimeter, not more than the 1 centimeter width. Next question. In plain sedimentation tank, inorganic suspended solids having specific gravity about dash. In plain sedimentation tank, inorganic suspended solid specific gravity they have asked. So specific gravity in plain sedimentation tank of inorganic suspended solids will be around 2.65. Next question. In plain sedimentation tank, organic suspended solids having specific gravity of about. So organic suspended solids present in plain sedimentation tank, their specific gravity will be around what? So their specific gravity will be around 1.04. In plain sedimentation tank, organic suspended solids having specific gravity of about 1.04. Next question. Where the screens are provided? Usually where the screens are provided. So generally the screens are provided in front of the pumps or intakes works and before the sedimentation tanks. That's all for today's session. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.